So, Jimmy, I had an interesting week last week.
Tell me about it.
So, I took 9 days off. I didn't check my email.
Mm.
Somebody else did. I don't use my cell phone for work. Our coaching members, I have coaching members that have it. But, we meet so often and go over things that almost never does somebody, call me on my cell phone number. But it's from the mortgage company, like my phone number's not on any business, my cell phone's not on any business cards or anything like that. So for 9 days, so it was a week and the two weekends front and back. I think it was the first time in 25 years or 27 years, I guess, 28 years now, I guess it's been that I've been in the business. First time in 28 years that I literally didn't do anything for the for the business. Like I didn't do anything at all. I didn't take any action on it, and I didn't look to see if anything needed to be done because So I've taken weeks off before. I've taken 2 weeks off before. Like we go to Europe usually once a year, and we'll go for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. But
Mhm.
because of the time difference, I'll either get up early, a couple hours early and knock out some emails and some ideas and write some stuff and prepare some stuff, before everybody gets it. I've always been an early riser. Or maybe I'd stay up late, after everybody's in bed and, knock a couple things out, things like that. This is the first time in 27 years I did none of that. I didn't do anything. And you know what I found, man?
Tell me.
The earth kept spinning. The earth kept spinning.
That's the whole idea of building a team.
I've been preaching this for the last, I say 27 years, probably it probably took me about 4 years or so to catch on to that fact. So let's call it the last 23 years. I've been preaching that, and I never really put it to the test until this last week. So it was awesome and a little humbling.
You're not quite as important as you thought you were.
Yeah,
It's kind of refreshing though.
it was that everybody still did their job. Things still happened. Yeah, I think a big part, I think what a lot of people struggle with is that fear of letting go.
Yeah.
And I think there's two fears there. Fear number one, what if something goes wrong? And then fear number two, what if nothing goes wrong? You know? And so what it taught me is that we can spend even more time prospecting than what we think.
Oh, that stings.
Yeah. So like all that time that I normally would be, well, let me double check this, let me double check that, let me do this, because only I can do that. My sick brain telling me that, of course. And all the times that I've been doing that, I found out last week I don't need to be doing that, that I can spend more time prospecting, which gives me what I want. Uh, the more prospecting gives me more of what I want, the more of looking for how I can help other people solve our problems that they can already figure out on their own if I've got the right person, of course, gives me more of what I don't want, which is
Really?
problems.
Are you saying that sometimes you find problems even though they don't need to be found?
Or I find problems even though somebody else has already found it and somebody else is already going for the solution.
Oh, yeah.
But obviously they need my help. My sick brain tells me.
Yeah, that's it's have these 8 rules my grandpa, and one of them's like, Jimmy, don't ever hire someone and then do their job for
Don't be your processor's assistant.
them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Says that.
yeah. So it was interesting. It was very interesting. So I was trying to think like we talk about breaking the engine,
Oh, yeah.
where let the engine run until it breaks and then find out what broke and then either fix or replace that thing. In this case, we're talking about people, that wait to see who drops the ball
Yeah.
And then once the ball is dropped, then you go, all right, I can either retrain or replace, the person when they drop the ball. But you know what I found, man? The ball didn't get dropped. Not saying that it won't at some point, but
Yeah.
it didn't.
You know, that's that NASCAR story, right? The engine.
Yeah. Jack Roush. Uh-huh.
And I find that people, like loan officers with a team,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's projecting, I'm not a therapist, if it's projecting or if it's, I don't know what it's called when you take on other people's problems, but whatever that is,
Yeah.
um, that they're so worried that their team is overworked, overpressured, over whatever, that they don't find out what their team's capable of.
Mm,
Like I think about that engine story all the time since you told it to me. And here's how I think about it in terms of my team, right? Let's find out how much they can handle.
hmm
Not even they know.
That's a good. And you know what? An issue that I had with that is like when you find out what they're capable of. I thought, well, surely they can't do more of that, whatever that is. I'm using air quotes when I say that. Surely they can't do more of that than I could do, and I couldn't do any more than this.
Oh, that's projection.
Yeah, and okay, yes, and I have found out that most of the time, most of them can do more than what I could do of that thing, that
Ooh.
of that one thing.
Well, yeah. And like it's almost the fear of success.
Fear of what?
Success.
Mm,
People think that's an impossible fear, right? Well, if my team member ends up being more successful in this area,
hmm
I'm gonna lose them.
mm,
And if I
hmm
lose them, then I gotta go find another. And they go
Yeah,
through
what
this
what if
all
they're
the.
better? What if they're better than me?
What if they are? Maybe they become
Yeah.
your partner and you guys blow up, or maybe you help someone grow and these things are the stuff that stops people from implementing. It really
Mhm.
is.
So I remember I had a great conversation with a mentor of mine years ago. And in our branch, he brought in another branch manager.
Hmm.
And I thought, well, wait a minute, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
Don't need two of us, was my thought.
Like, yeah, but what are you telling me that I'm no good?
Yeah, yeah. And I said, I'm a rooster. I'm not sure if I want another rooster on the farmyard. And dude, he told me something that I've never forgotten.
Oh, I'm ready for this.
He said, Carl, don't be the rooster, be the farmer. Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Don't be the rooster, be the farmer. Got it. That was a good lesson.
wow.
Hey there. Hey, if you're loving the tips so far, be sure to hit that subscribe button right down there and then tap the little bell so that you never miss out on more free, cool tips coming your way. Also, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment beneath there. Let me know what you think or tell me what you'd like to hear next. Total different topic than kind of what we're going here, but like,
Well, how are you going to find out unless you're willing to like it's the same. So you talked about a full Monday through Friday
yeah,
with both weekends off.
yeah. Like when I say off,
I mean, off.
like radio silence. Yeah.
I just truly believe that without, I say three, but I'll settle for two, but three of those a year, we're just not as sharp as we need to be.
hmm
We're just not.
Yeah, I found a couple things. I found my brain was very fresh coming back.
Different view, different perspective, maybe.
Or just fresh, just
Clear,
clear.
clear,
Yeah, clear, calm,
calm and clear.
fresh, eager.
You were happy to come back.
Well, it's funny. It's almost like there was two Carls.
Oh,
So Carl's brain was fresh. Frankly, my motivation was waning a little bit,
hmm,
you know? So
I'm
my
with you.
motivation was like always, I'm kind of like a train. Once I'm moving, I'm hard to stop. Once I'm stopped, I'm hard to move. And so when I found my motivation waning the first couple of days, I've learned not to rely on motivation. I rely on discipline. I rely on structure. And so at 9:30, when it was time to do this activity, I did it not because I felt like it, because frankly, I didn't. I did it because it was on my calendar. And then the activity after that, I did it because it was on my calendar.
Yeah.
And this meeting that we're having right now, I enjoyed talking to you, but I did it because it's on the calendar.
Hmm.
And so now as we're recording this, this is day 3, back in the saddle. I'm good. Like I'm good. Like I'm back to the motivation. Even though I don't rely on that, I rely on the discipline. I rely on the structure.
Yeah.
But the motivation came back, but it only came back after the activity, not before the activity.
So how'd you push through? Like I agree with you.
It,
You got
it
to
was
get
it was
started.
it was on my calendar. I see. I think a lot of times we
Um,
think, well, what am I going to do? No, I already decided. It was already on my calendar. 3 months ago. This week
uh,
is already on my calendar.
the way you re-engage is to what you said you were going to do that's on your calendar.
It's on my calendar. It's not. I'm not deciding today what to do. It's already on my calendar. Tomorrow, I'm not deciding what to do tomorrow.
It's
I
on your
decided
calendar.
that 2 weeks ago. It's on my calendar. And so,
That's the big miss for loan officers because we don't have like our companies mostly just say, here's a computer, here's a phone,
yeah,
you know what you're doing, and the
yeah.
structure is not there. It's
They're making decisions in the moment instead of decisions a week ago on what's going to put me on my best perspective. And this is probably a whole nother topic. A friend of mine talks about this where I can have a perfect yesterday. You go, wait a minute, yesterday already happened. Yeah, but what I do today, when I wake up tomorrow, I go, boy, yesterday was awesome. I got a lot done. I enjoyed doing it. I got a lot of good results. Yesterday was amazing. And so I'm setting up my yesterday for tomorrow, today. Does that make
that's right.
sense?
Yeah.
Sounds kind of crazy. I feel like we're supposed to be sitting around the campfire and doing shots or something, and having this kind of a conversation. But yeah, we can create our own perfect yesterday today for tomorrow. So when I look back, like I look back now at my first 2 days back, Monday and Tuesday, I'm very pleased with my activity and the results of my activity. And that makes me feel good today. So as long as I do the same thing today, I'll feel good tomorrow about today. So yesterday, tomorrow will be an amazing day.
There's
Wouldn't you hate to get stuck up in this poor little brain? It's just so much
a lot
weird,
going on up there.
a little weird thinking sometimes. But yeah, I do. I think about, make feel
My,
good.
my my favorite time to talk to you is right after you had a long bike ride.
Oh, I do a lot of thinking on the bike ride.
Do
So
a lot of thinking.
yeah, yeah. But I think it's important to have a lot of white space in our day so that we can do our pondering and our thinking. And frankly, my bicycle is it because I can't talk on the phone because I'm hustling on that bike. It's not as fast as I can, but a pretty good for me, a pretty good pace. And so I can't pick up the phone and talk to somebody along the way because I'm riding it. So it gives a good time to
Do you
ponder.
remember the bike ride or are you in your brain the whole time?
No, I remember it. I remember it. Yeah, because I also I smell the flowers and enjoy, watching daybreak coming across, and the fog lifting over the lake and the couple loons, the birds, that I hear every morning. And oh yeah, that's that dog over in that yard. He always barks. I hear him barking as I'm riding by that fence. And
Yeah.
so no, I enjoy the moment too, but yeah. So I guess the take home message here is create an awesome yesterday, but do it today. And don't rely on motivation, rely on discipline. And if you want help with that, Jimmy and I have an accountability group that we run,
Mhm.
where we are creating amazing yesterdays for people. We got the results yesterday. I don't have my cheat sheet in front of me here, but we had one person. I think they had like 10 applications last week, and we had another person. I think they said I think it was like a good percentage of the amount of people on there having their like literally their best month ever. And the numbers that they're creating are pushing out pretty impressive. And it's not because of any other thing other than the discipline and structure of their day and somebody holding them accountable in a respectful way.
That's right.
So if you want to talk to us about that, I don't know, getmoreloans.com, and tell them you're interested in working directly with Jimmy and myself personally. And we'll talk to you about that. Getmoreloans.com. So anyway,
It's
that
awesome.
is that enough?
It's enough.
Yeah.
Two 1 week vacations a year, Monday through Friday, and both weekends off.
And
Recharge your
off,
batteries.
off, off, off. Not
Off,
just
off.
off, off, off.
Put someone else in charge.
Yeah, put somebody else in charge. I love you, man. You're an awesome
You
dude,
too,
buddy.
brother. I'll see you.
Okay, I'll see you.